to wave hello and be kind to the hallucinations and remember them for later. and to grab a hold of that chisel and get to work, because this is what we came for.
Welcome to Flagstaff Bound, a special Cocodona 250 series brought to you by Distance to Empty podcast and Aravaipa Running. I am Kevin Goldberg, host of the Distance to Empty podcast, where we dive deep into the world of 200-plus mile races, just like Cocodona 250. As always, I'm here with everyone's favorite co-host, Peter Noyes. Today we've got on a guest who needs no introduction, ultrarunning legend, Courtney Dauwalter. She has rewritten what's possible in ultrarunning. Courtney, welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
So you've raced and won some of the toughest ultras on the planet. If we're looking at 200s in particular, we're talking Moab 240, Tahoe 200. I believe it's been a minute since you've been at this distance. What was it about Cocodona 250 that made you say, yep, let's do it now?
I think it was a couple of things. One, I have been intrigued by that 200-plus mile distance since I did my first one back in 2017. I just think the longer the race is, the more opportunity for puzzle pieces to shift around or new puzzle pieces you didn't predict to get added in. The whole thing kind of changes, and I love that game. So I knew that I wanted to revisit that 200-mile distance at some point. And then Cocodona was high on my list because in 2021, its first year, I got to be down there pacing a couple different friends through some sections and just seeing the variety of the course and how cool it was to have this destination where you're, just headed north to Flagstaff the whole time. And I don't know, the whole vibe of it felt really cool. So that instantly made it okay, we're coming back here at some point and putting on our own bib for this one.
So based on your experience at Moab or Tahoe, were there any big aha moments that were unexpected that you learned that you're going to bring into this race?
I mean, Moab, we had no idea what we were doing. So that one was all aha moments, but also sort of just fumbling along and trying and figuring it out along the way. And then I think a lot of the aha moments were at Tahoe 200, which was 1 year after that. We thought, okay, we have, 200 under our belt. We've, dabbled with the sleep game. We've, tinkered with nutrition for these. We kind of know what to expect. And then Tahoe 200 went completely different than we would have predicted or hoped for based on having some experience from Moab. The sleep game just wasn't working, and we thought we had, trial and errored our way into figuring it out. So I think the aha was that in 200s, maybe just being prepared for everything and anything and not feeling like anything is maybe the move. I don't know.
I think we're all still trying to figure that out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So over the past, really since its inception, but especially over the past, year plus, Cocodona 250 has sort of emerged as the competitive 200 in the U.S. Last year we saw one of the most competitive men's fields ever. And this year, a big focus has been on, and in no short, because of you joining as well, the women's field has really been a topic with two former winners returning who will also be on this series. Did that factor into your decision at all? And also, why Cocodona? Why do you think it's the race that seems to be drawing this competitive edge in the world of 200s?
I never will sign up for a race based on a start list. It has to be very internally driven for me to, be on start lines, especially of races this long. You have to want it for yourself and not for, you have to want it for your own reasons and not for maybe the who else is out there thing. But for sure, the start list is really, really exciting. And I'm looking forward to hopefully sharing a lot of miles with some people out there. I don't know why the Cocodona 250 has blown up like it has, except for the obvious things of like, it's a course that's super cool and makes sense, like there's this destination and you get to meander through all these different, like the scenery changes as you travel. It's pretty special in that way. And then probably like the live stream has made it where people can follow along and maybe conceptualize a little bit what that 250-mile distance looks like and feels like and sounds like and all of the things, when it's a distance that's hard to imagine moving with your feet usually.
So you're known for really embracing like a type 2 fun attitude. So when you're deep in the pain cave in a race, especially a 200, what's really keeping you going and motivated to keep moving forward when things get hard?
I think it's the chance to be in that pain cave. Like the pain cave for me and the mindset around the pain cave for me has changed over the years, where it's become this place of opportunity, this place of celebration, and this place of like, man, how lucky that we're here right now. So let's take advantage of it and spend some time there, because in normal life, we can't just like arrive at the pain cave entrance. We have to be doing something usually pretty special and pretty difficult to get there. So for sure, just like my hope always is in those toughest moments to remember and to focus on like the opportunity of being there and of struggling and of pushing through that by just chiseling away in that cave.
Courtney, whenever I've heard you talk about the pain cave on, other podcasts or something, it always kind of helps me reframe, because when I get to my pain cave, I'm usually looking for the door and the way out. And, perhaps it was inspiration for our podcast that we started, Distance to Empty, where we're sort of exploring what it takes to reach that distance to empty. And that exploration is happening through running 200 plus mile races. Have you, personally reached the end of your pain cave? Have you found that distance to empty? Do you think there is an end for people, or do we kind of just keep remodeling and moving things around and making it just comfortable enough to stay there?
This is one of the questions I'm really intrigued by, because I wonder too, like, what happens when I keep going back into this cave every single time and I keep on chiseling away at it? It's growing larger with every visit. Like, is there an end eventually? Will there be a moment where I just like refuse to go back in? I have no idea. But it is definitely one of the drivers for me in signing up for these types of races, and just like finding that out, like what happens back there if we keep on visiting.
So at some point in Cocodona, you're going to get into this pain cave that you're describing. You're going to be running on fumes, maybe even hallucinating, totally sleep deprived, questioning a lot of things, I'm sure, like all of us out there. So if you could have a conversation with that version of yourself, what would you tell her?
To wave hello and be kind to the hallucinations and remember them for later. and to like grab a hold of that chisel and get to work, because this is what we came for.
So a lot of North American athletes, at least when they're racing Cocodona, myself included, this will be my fourth year heading into the race. I live just down the hill from you in the Front Range in Colorado, and a lot of our weather is, let's say, not very Coco conducive here in the late winter, early spring. You're up in Leadville at 10,000 feet. Do you factor that in at all? Will you be doing heat training, or is it kind of just like, hey, this is where I live, it is what it is?
A little bit of both. I think a lot of times we just do the best with, what we've got and where we are. And and that's what it is. We also, though, through the winter, do try and get on dirt intentionally. We're surrounded and it fully in the snow since I guess like December now. So Kevin and I, my husband, we've made some trips to the dirt, and we'll do a few more trips just to like intentionally get our feet and ankles and bodies and maybe get exposed to like a little more sun in t-shirt and shorts before race day.
All right. So speaking of some specific Cocodona like course questions, you were out there in 2021. The course has changed quite a bit since then, but a lot of it has stayed the same. Are there any sections in particular out there in Arizona that you're like, when you close your eyes, that's the section you see that you're really looking forward to?
Gosh, I'm looking forward to all of it. I'm curious and looking forward to the first part, that first 50K, because I haven't seen any of that, and I know that it's a big start to the day. So I think that will be cool to get on that and just to like get the whole thing rolling. I'm really looking forward to, I think it's Mingus Mountain, the climb where I think someone told me that from the top of Mingus or somewhere around there, you can see Elden, where the finish line is. And I think that will be a pretty cool and like, I don't know, the perspective. Because what are you at around Mingus? 100 miles?
110.
110 miles, and you can see the 150 miles away that your feet still have to carry you. I think that's going to feel pretty special. I'm looking forward to that. And then Elden, of course. I can't wait to get up to Elden and feel like we made it, hopefully, knock on wood.
And then what about the flip side of that? Are there any sections that you're not looking forward to?
I feel like that might be bad trail karma to call a section out already. So no, I'm looking forward to every single section.
Oh, so smart. I need to put my positive spin on. I have such a long list of sections I'm not looking forward to.
Don't tell me. Don't tell me.
No. I'll keep it in my locked up in my negative brain. So Courtney, speaking of Mingus, last year, and I'd say that the chances of us being at Mingus together this year are pretty slim based on what I know about you. But hey, never say never. I have some lofty goals out there. Last year, I played some basketball at the camp there. They have like basketball like set up and there are balls out, and there was no one there to play with me. So I've been asking guests, if you're there at Mingus, can we do like a quick one-on-one just to 1 point?
1-on-1 to 1 point, or should we do like a horse or pig situation?
Well, I don't want to take too much of your time.
Yeah, but do you know I can dunk?
I
How
didn't.
high's the hoop?
I don't know.
I'm just kidding. I can't dunk.
I think it's
Can you
10 feet.
can you dunk 110 miles in? Because I have video of me playing and it was not pretty.
I bet that was pretty funny.
Yeah, it was good. It helped. I think it helped with my head. I was like, hey, I'm playing basketball. This is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, Mingus is seeing Elden, like you said, is a really cool, like perspective shift, and like seeing, there's like a paraglider.
So you can see it.
Yeah, if it's clear,
Okay.
you can see it. And it's
Yeah.
like well, you might get there in the dark. Most years I've gotten to Elden just at sunrise. But you could probably see it.
That's amazing.
Yeah, you could probably see it on the descent too, like going down into Jerome. I bet you can still
Okay.
catch Elden. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like views like that where you see where you're headed and how far away. I'm sure Elden looks tiny, and it's like, okay, so my feet and like this length of stride are going to bring me all the way there eventually. That's super cool, and that's like a really special aspect of these long races.
Yeah. So something we've been asking everyone, what shoes are you going to be starting the race in?
I think probably the Salomon S-Lab Genesis. It's my favorite shoe. I feel like starting with, my best friend on my feet would be a good move, but we'll see. Maybe the S-Lab Ultra Glide.
All right, so a lot of emphasis in this sport, rightfully so, is put into performance, placement, times. What is one outcome here at Cocodona 250 this year that's not tied to those things that would make you really proud of yourself?
If I could tell a joke with the correct punchline while climbing up Elden, headed towards the finish.
I love it. And it'll be easier because we're going reverse. I think it's better joke telling terrain going this year's direction than previous years.
Yeah, it's more like the sanity check, like, do I have my marbles still where I can put together the correct pieces of jokes so that it makes sense?
Is that something you typically pull out when doing races? Is telling jokes with your pacers?
Yeah, and it never goes well, but it will be a good test of this one.
Who's on your team for crew and pacing?
We put together an amazing Leadville group come in. So some of our friends from here in Leadville, and then of course Kevin will be there keeping us all organized and laughing for sure.
Very cool. Is there any crossover from who was on your crew back at Moab or Tahoe?
Yeah, some crossover, and definitely some crossover from recent races like Hard Rock or, crew at Western States, stuff like that. So
nice.
We've got a group that I think will have a lot of fun together and will be fun to share miles with out on the trail.
It's as you know, I crewed it the same year you did. I've run it every year since. It's a fun race to crew. It's accessible. It's like you can have a lot of fun while still being really good crew, which is not every race has that luxury.
Yeah, I love that. And that, I don't know, these races are as a runner, for me at least, I think about, is my crew okay? Are they, getting sleep? Are they eating food? And this one being not these huge remote aid stations out in the middle of nowhere. It feels like, okay, they're going to be okay, bopping in off this highway and making sure they're fed and slept and stuff.
All right. You mentioned, seeing Elden from the top of Mingus and thinking of, your legs, your feet, your stride is going to get you up there. We actually asked ChatGPT how many steps it would take you to get from Black Canyon City to Flagstaff. Care to venture any guesses as to what that total number is?
Oh my gosh. Do I want to know?
I mean, they're just short little steps. Easy to take.
I do want to know. I'm going to guess, I don't even know what I do in 1 mile. Let's say 100,000.
That's, if you can get there in 100,000, you'll be taking big leaps each step.
So what's the number?
They say 350 to 500,000. So
okay,
maybe 500,000 steps to Flagstaff. Easy peasy.
500,000 to Flag. I love it.
Yeah. All right, Courtney, thank you so much for joining us. Remember, Cocodona 250 kicks off on Monday, May 6th at 5 a.m. Pacific time. You can catch all the action live on the Mountain Outpost YouTube channel. Somewhere on that live stream on early morning Tuesday, Courtney and I will be doing one-on-one basketball at Mingus Mountain Camp. You won't want to miss that. Aravaipa Running will be bringing you the nonstop race coverage around the clock. Don't forget to follow Cocodona 250 on social media as well. More content there, behind-the-scenes updates throughout the whole race. And if you're enjoying this series, check us out, Distance to Empty Podcast. We talk about 200 so much, it's not even funny. But maybe still funnier than Courtney's last joke going up Elden.
Whoa.
Shots fired. Courtney, thank you so much for joining us. This was fun.
Thanks, you guys.